Hello and welcome back. Okay, it's time for today's Try Your Hand Out project. Sit back and enjoy some more of the wonderful wet and wet oil painting techniques from marvellous SAA professional artist Marion Dutton.
We're doing a beautiful wet on wet oil painting today, nice floral. We're going to do a red rose study. So I'm going to begin by lubricating the canvas with some linseed oil. Now I like to just blob this on. I'm using a 1-inch bristle brush here, and then I'll scrub this in to the weave of the canvas. Now this is a 16 by 12 stretch canvas, and I've already painted this with acrylic gesso. This is a grey gesso, and that is completely dry. And then just to make sure that you don't have too much of the oil on there, take a paper towel and just wipe away that excess. You're looking for a nice sheen, nice even sheen. But you don't want too much on there. It will make the painting really, really slippy and make things very, very difficult. So once I've done that, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush and I'm going to begin sketching in the placement of my rose. I'm dipping into some oil and a little bit of alizarin crimson. I'm thinning the paint down so that I'm able to sketch with it. Now, no real complications here. Don't get stressed over the drawing part of these roses. Very simple, just a nice oval shape. Not plonk in the centre, there's a little bit off centre. And I'm going to create a little bud. Something like that. Now there'll be a stem coming down here and that'll join on there. But now I've got that placement in, I can start throwing in a little bit of background colour. Now I'm going to use some sap green. I'm back to the 1-inch bristle brush and I've made sure that there's no excess oil on there. And I'm going to pull out some of this paint and just tap that in for a nice even distribution. And I'm going to dance this colour into the background. I'm using a flippy floppy X stroke and I want to keep this nice and loose. What I'm trying to create when I blend this out is sort of an out of focus distant foliage. Now I'm going to throw a little bit of the yellow in there. This is cadmium yellow. We're going to have a little bit of a lighter area. Again, I'm just dancing this colour in, keeping it lovely and random. And it does look untidy at this stage, but when you blend that out, it really will look like a soft, out of focus foliage. Now we're doing a red rose and this green against the red, complementary colours, and it really does look beautiful. Wipe away that excess and I'm going to dip into a little bit of the blue, touch of the green, and we're going to go a little bit darker and a little cooler at the base of this rose. Again, I'm just dancing these colours in, keeping it nice and soft. Now I'm switching to a large blending brush and we're going to just blend all this out so it just becomes out of focus. You can't see any harsh brush strokes. Again, I'm using the X strokes, flip-flop strokes. And just let that melt into the background. Okay, and as backgrounds go, it doesn't really get any easier than that. So I'm going to switch now to a floral brush. This is a flat brush and I'm going to begin adding a stem in there, and I'm going to use some alizarin crimson and some sap green, and that will make a nice brown colour for this stem. Little drop of oil just to help that flow. The centre of the rose is here, so I'm going to bring this stem all the way through. Now it's a little on the red side, so I'm going to add a little bit more of that green. All the way through. And as you come to the bottom, if you push back, it'll give the illusion of that sort of cut off look. I'm wiping away the excess paint. This one's just going to join on somewhere down there. Now we're going to highlight that. I'm going to use some cadmium yellow, a little bit of the white, I'm using the brush on its chiselled edge. We're going to have the light coming over from the right hand side, and all I'm doing is just touching and pulling down, and this gives that appearance, sort of a woody effect, which is quite characteristic of the rose stems. We'll have a slightly lighter area through the centre. That's a little bright. Okay, so now I'm going to create a little bit of a reflective light, and I'm using alizarin crimson and some ultramarine blue and some titanium white, and this gives you a really nice purple. A little bit more of the blue. And we'll put in a little bit of a reflective light there. Okay, I'm going to begin adding some stems. So I'm using some sap green and ultramarine blue, and I'm adding plenty of oil to this. And this is for the leaves. We'll press on, wiggle, and you create a little tip. Now I'm going to bring all my strokes to the base. And we'll do that again. Now this is just that little bit thinner. And we'll have something overlapping here. Let's highlight those. A little bit of cadmium yellow. Again, all my strokes are directed to the base of these leaves. And we'll pop in a little one just on the bottom there. Now I'm going to go back to this purple mix from before, and we'll put in a little bit of a reflective light on the back side of these leaves. And this does help with the separation as well. Wiping the excess paint away now, I'm going to block in the actual main rose using some linseed oil and alizarin crimson. Now I do want this mix to be a little bit thinner, and to block that in, simply just pull all your strokes to the centre. You're looking for a nice ragged edge and a nice shape, a nice shape that you're pleased with. Pulling all that colour into the centre, and we'll block in the bud in exactly the same way. Now we do need to add a little dark centre in those, so I'm going to use some ultramarine blue and alizarin crimson. Get a little bit of a smiley face, and we'll fan that out in the direction that the rose is facing. And feather that out. And we will put also a dark centre in the bud. Let's add just one or two little leaves coming up from here, just to give it a little bit of a balance. Okay, and we'll put in a little highlight. And finally, the reflective light. So come and join me later on in the programme, and I'll show you how to put the petals into this rose.
Great technique there, Marion. Beautiful colours, nice even sheen. I look forward to seeing the finished bloom later on in today's programme. Okay, folks, time for a quick break, but join us in part 3 when Fraser Scarfe pulls a Christmas cracker to show you how to give your painting a nice professional finish. And popular watercolour artist Geoff Kerseys unwraps another one of his handy hints. See you after the break.